So I was reading. Miami Herald had this column where they're getting a lot of comparisons on Tua, right? And Dabo Swinney, he came out. Swinney, he came out. Clemson coach, football's America, all that stuff. He comes out and he gave a little comparison. The reason I was interested in this is because Dabo, with his own guy, Deshaun Watson, remember what he compared him to? He said he's like Michael Jordan. And he kind of nailed it. The guy he's really good. Whoever gets him, they're getting themselves a hell of a player. I know it was his own QB, but people thought he was a Looney Tune when he was saying this. So I was interested in what he had to say as far as Tua in a comparison. And so he says, quote, he's got a little bit of Brett Favre to him, a little bit of Michael Vick in him. He's got stuff like that. You think you got him. He's got his eyes in the back of his head. He spins out. The next thing you know, it's a big play. He's so accurate in the pocket. He's incredibly accurate on the move. He's a big-time winner, a great personality, and a great teammate. Now, Leroy. I don't know about Michael Vick. It feels like I don't know what he has in common with Michael Vick other than lefty. I mean, he's got the good pocket presence, but Michael Vick's best athlete on the field. I don't think anybody's ever accused Tua of being that. But the Brett Favre thing's interesting to me because the guy we've always heard him compared to really has been lefty Drew Brees. And, of course, lefty Marino. Would you rather Tua be more Brett Favre or more Drew Brees?
Drew Brees.
Not going to throw as many interceptions.
Yeah, there we go. If he's Brett Favre, he could possibly have the second 30-30 season.
Yeah, but Brett Favre was fun, man. Woo! Gunslinger.
I'd rather be Drew Brees. Very
Just
accurate.
Systematic. Break it down.
Very, very accurate. Not going to ever hurt your team. Because we used to have a saying. Whenever you played Brett Favre, they used to say, hey, defense, get ready because you know he's going to throw you one. I mean, what's more rare, a unicorn or Brett Favre playing a game without throwing a pick?
Let's see.
He's thrown for 400 picks, I think.
He has 336 interceptions in his career.
336 interceptions.
508 touchdowns.
Okay, that ratio is terrible. It is.
It's 11 Jameis Winston's.
Who has the most touchdowns?
Drew
Brees, right?
Drew Brees is breaking every record in the book, man.
So look at Drew Brees' compare. Look at Tom Brady's. Look at Peyton Manning's touchdown interception ratio.
But Drew, to that point though, but like Brett Favre playing on the hobbled ankle, like he's still taking his teams far. Like the guy did go out there and perform.
Okay, he was taking his teams far, but in the end, who was going to be the guy that cost you? I know you. You would complain about that. You would complain.
So much fun, though.
If you had a quarterback that threw for 1 million yards, but every postseason threw the pick that cost you the game, you would hate that guy.
Hold on. If I guaranteed the Dolphin fan that Tua has Brett Favre's career, you're not satisfied with that? Like they would be thrilled with that.
Down here, they would complain about only winning one Super Bowl.
Really?
Yes.
Marino won 0.
Yes. Dude, come on, man. Are you familiar with the people you live with?
It's a Hall of Famer.
Wait. Understand. So was Don Shula. Winning 10 games, 11 games, 9 games every year. It wasn't enough.
Tua doing the Wrangler commercials. He's on the beach. He's on the beach, but they're jorts. They're not.
He's gonna do his first commercial is gonna right at the end he's gonna go Mahalo.
Right? If Tua started wearing jorts, could he bring jorts back?
Nope.
I think he could.
Gardner Minshew already got that.
Nah, I'm talking about Gardner Minshew. That's just Mississippi. Dude, I'm talking about if Tua was doing Wrangler jorts commercials, could he bring him back?
Dude, I'm telling you right now, you don't want Brett Favre as your quarterback. He throws too many picks. Go look here. For comparison, pull up Dan Marino's touchdowns.
All right.
To interception ratio.
Dan Marino. All right. Pro Football Reference. Loading up. Dan Marino, 420 touchdowns, 252 interceptions.
Okay. Like, come on, man.
Hey, but
You don't want look, nothing against Brett Favre. But I'm telling you now, you would hate having a quarterback that threw a bunch of picks.
But it got a lot worse as he got older. Like there's still some he has some prime years, Leroy, where he's talking 38 and 13.
I played
38 and 13, 39 and 13, 35 and 16. He had 3 straight years of that.
Okay, I played against Brett Favre. I'm telling you what the meeting on Monday was.
Oh man, come on.
Everybody get your sticky gloves ready. He gonna throw you one. I'm telling you. That's not ask any football player that played defense during that time.
Hold on,
I wish this is a conversation you need for Pat Surtain.
About how much they were licking their chops?
Yes.
But there's
he was that guy.
but there's no fear also that goes into that. Like he's gonna throw you one, but he's also gonna torch you.
Of course. Look, as far as a guy who took chances and delivered more than he failed, Brett Favre could fit a ball in some tight spots because he had a cannon.
Brett Favre had a 20-30 season.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
That was in 2005, though. He's old.
20 and 30, dude. 20 and 30. They just ran Jameis Winston out of town for a 30-30.
But when he was 40, when he was at the Vikings, his first year where they went to the championship, 33 and 7.
That's
pretty good.
He threw that costly interception in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah,
there you go. I'm telling you.
Was that the one with the ankle, though? With the gross ankle?
He had to show the ankle because he threw the pick.
You're telling me, though, if I guarantee the Dolphins, that means you get a Super Bowl. I'm saying if he has Brett Favre's career, everybody takes that.
No, you here again. After the fact,
Well, I couldn't get if I guarantee the Super Bowl, that's ridiculous. But if I said
after the fact,
if he has Brett Favre's numbers,
after the fact, you're looking at Brett Favre's numbers. But if you go back and just follow his career, he was the guy that threw that pick at the end of the game all the time. And you would grow tired of that.
Oh, man, but it's so much fun.
No, it's not.
Oh, man. Oh, remember the Jets here, 22 and 22.
Right. There you go.
Got outdueled by Pennington in the last game of the season.
He did.
I'm telling you, man.
And also sent his hog to a reporter.
Now, I'll tell you who probably has one of the lowest. Probably Brady, right?
Touchdown interceptions.
Oh, yeah.
And he's not throwing a 20 and 30.
Yeah, he doesn't have 20, 30.
I would say he's never been within 5 except maybe his first year.
Let's see. Brady, he has 541 touchdowns, 170. This is just regular season, by the way. 541 touchdowns,
okay.
179.
100. What?
Holy.
That was close.
Brett Favre has 200 more picks.
07. Go to the 07 season on Brady. 50 touchdowns, 8 interceptions.
Right.
His worst season, you nailed it, was his rookie year. He was 18 and 12.
Right. Not within 5 ever.
Nothing sniffs.
Right. And that's because they were scared to have him drop back and throw it. I'm telling you, man. I'll tell you who else is probably pretty good. Aaron Rodgers.
All right, let's bring up old Aaron Rodgers. But some of these numbers are going to get skewed, though, right? Like as the eras go on.
Wait. Is there no guy that throws the ball down the field more than Aaron Rodgers?
He is 364 and 84, and
he hasn't even gotten to 100. He hasn't gotten to 100 picks yet.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, he went the longest time without throwing an interception at home. He went like some 30-something games without throwing an interception.
Rodgers has a 40 and 7, 2016. He's thrown double-digit picks twice in his career.
Okay. Now.
Once was his rookie year.
And that's the guy that replaced the guy you love. Why do you think they did it?
Hold up. Most people loved watching Brett Favre play, though. He was fun.
All right.
He was fun.
So, somebody said Favre won 3 MVPs. Stop comparing errors. No.
Oh, we gotta be fair. We gotta put the Griese man's numbers up there. Since we gotta go through all the eras.
We got to go through Bob Griese?
Yeah.
12 touchdowns and 8 picks.
All right. Well, it's fair. What's fair is fair, Robbie.
Has he ever thrown more than 25 touchdowns in a year?
The Griese man?
Yeah.
His career high is 22.
There you go.
Bob Griese. I tell you what, Bob Griese was handing it over to the other team back in the day.
Yes.
You want to hear Bob Griese's first 4 years?
Sure.
Bob Griese. This is gonna be very. I'm sorry. I'm doing this.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Stop lying to these folks.
1967, 15 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. 1968, 21 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. 1969, 10 touchdowns, 16 interceptions.
Whoa.
1970, 12 touchdowns, 17 interceptions.
Wait. And they couldn't wait to get him back in.
1971, the year before the perfect season, he was 19-9, so they thought he was really turning it around. Then he obviously was hurt for most of 72 before they brought him back in. The Super Bowl year in 73, 17-8, so big jump up there. Then we hit 16-15, 14-13, 11-12, and then a huge surge, 22-13 in 1977.
So it seems like the code to winning was having Griese throw less, and they started winning more games.
I don't want to do that, man.
Oh no!
So look, I'm just telling you. I've told you this over and over again. Brett Favre is a Hall of Famer. The guy had a cannon. He put more balls into tight squeezes than any quarterback that I've ever seen. I'm not saying that he's great. That he's not great. But what I am saying is that if you had that here, right? If you had that here with all those picks, eventually you would grow tired of it because every season ended with a Brett Favre pick.
Well, except the season they won.
Right. Like, here, think about it this way. When you think of the quarterbacks that you would want to lead a drive at the end of a game, one of the things you think about the most is he's not going to turn the ball over, so we're always going to have a chance, right?
Yes, but also you want a guy who can make things happen, and he's a guy that could extend plays and make things happen. He's a gunslinger, dude. He's the Rocket.
But that's not. Do you consider Tua to be a gunslinger?
Well, that's why I found the comparison interesting. I thought for the most part, I thought that it was mostly like Drew Brees from the left side, and when I saw Brett Favre, I was like, I don't feel like I've heard that analysis from him. But Dabo Swinney's a guy I give him credibility, because I feel like he does know who the good players are. He's obviously an elite coach, so I found it interesting. And Nick Saban did say, like, look, a lot of his injuries did come from that, where he was trying to extend plays and make something out of nothing. So yeah, I thought it was interesting. I thought that was an interesting comparison.
We can't be the same old Dolphins we was. We got us a coach. I love the coach. I love the team. I love with the direction, but we got to take Tua. If you don't disagree, come on. Tua Tagovailoa, QB Alabama.
Oh man, I love it. We got a poll, Leroy. We got a poll out there. Which would you prefer Tua to be? Next Brett Favre, next Drew Brees. You guys can vote now at Brendan_Tobin. I'll retweet at 790 the ticket. Leroy has voted for the next Drew Brees. I think I vote for the next Brett Favre. It's fun time.
Okay.
Fun time had by all. Okay. I don't know where you think Michael Vick is strong though, and he says he's got a little Michael Vick to him. I'm like, lefty?
Come on, man. He doesn't have the arm to be Brett Favre. Brett Favre has broken fingers.
Oof.
There's only a handful of guys.
He gave.
I got crooked fingers. Guess who did me? Randall Cunningham.
Jeez.
You know who else had a cannon?
I've seen a Rhonda Gadsden's finger up close.
Oh yeah, Dan had a cannon.
Torrey Holt.
Oh,
Yep.
Torrey Holt's got some gnarly ones.
I would say, wait, who was? Dan. He was the first pick in my draft. Played for Indianapolis. He was the first pick in the draft.
Falk?
No, quarterback
Oh, my bad.
George?
from
George?
Illinois.
Jeff George?
Jeff George. Jeff George threw a ball that didn't spin.
Oh.
So it was like a brick. It was like he threw a small car at you. You had to body catch it.
What do you mean it didn't spin?
Didn't spin.
Like a knuckleball?
Like you know when you hear quarterbacks say, like, for example, the quarterback that threw the prettiest ball that I've ever seen, tight spiral, had some zip to it, nice spin on it, you catch it, goes in there real nice, is Warren Moon.
Very confused by the physics of Jeff George. By the way, speaking of Illinois, did you see our boy Lovie Smith? No more
Yeah,
Santa
yeah.
beard.
Whoa.
By the way,
I was shook.
his chin looks huge.
It's free. Hasn't seen the light of day in a while. Does the entire staff get to shave now too, Robbie, when we're watching these Illinois games?
Yeah, they got to. I imagine they got to be, maybe they're just regrowing it back for the season. It's going to have a fresh new beard for the season.
Does Lovie
All right.
Smith go for the hot shave after that? Does he is that where he goes to the
No.
barber and says, do it all
No.
up? What do you mean?
Nobody's going to the barber.
What do you mean nobody's going to the barber? But Lovie Smith, I'm sure they got a team barber.
Right. So here. So we can't talk. We can't have conversations.
Why?
So according to Leroy, Packer fans didn't enjoy Favre's era and his one Super Bowl because he's pretty beloved there. Okay, that's after the fact.
He was beloved there. I mean, that's part of the reason with the whole Rodgers thing. People were upset that he left. Remember, it's Aaron Rodgers. It's the guy who's unproven. It's not like he comes in with everybody knowing his resume.
Oh, okay.
He's replacing a legend.
Okay, and look at what he's been sitting for 4 years, so you knew it had to come. Mm-hmm. But look at what Aaron Rodgers did his first year. They got over it quick.
Yeah.
They got over it real quick. It wasn't like you replaced him with Mitch Trubisky.
Oof. Let's get to headlines.
This is WAXYAM
Well, like you replaced Dan Marino
South
with Scott
Miami
Mitchell.
and WSFS-FM
Or Jay
HD2
Fiedler.
Miramar, a radio.com sports station.
Who was probably your most successful quarterback since Dan Marino?
Not Dan Marino, though.
No, again, but was your most successful quarterback. I mean, unless you're going to throw in Ryan Tannehill, but nobody liked him,
Nope.
especially you.
I didn't. Oh, excuse me for not liking watching him play football. Excuse me. Great piggybacker, though. He hopped on Derrick. Yeah, he hopped on Derrick Henry in the playoffs.
Oh, so you don't think he's a starting quarterback in the NFL?
Has Derrick Henry got his extension? Did they ever pay him this offseason?
Not yet.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, Tannehill's contract was up.
So is Derrick Henry's.
All right, you can franchise a running back. You can't franchise a quarterback. You can pay 30-something million.
It's okay. No, trust me. Tobin and Leroy in Memphis, they're going to be debating it for years. Is he good or not?
Who?
Tobin and Leroy in Memphis.
Going to be debating whether Tannehill's good?
Yep. Enjoy that, boys. It's your fight now, not ours.
I mean, but if they're going to the playoffs, does that say yes or no?
This poll's off to a whiz-bang start, by the way. 90% say Drew Brees, and you also have to count 3% for fat thumbs.
Yeah, come on, man. Like, what's wrong with you?
I feel like we're
how
disrespecting
do you
Brett Favre.
How do you forget? As much as I've talked about Brett Favre,
I know, but with all the bad comes the good. It's not like
no. We don't concentrate on the good. Come on, man. You live in Miami. We only concentrate on the bad. Unless you're a Canes fan, then you don't concentrate on the bad. Only the 6 wins.
we concentrate on we take some of the we take the good with the bad. Like back in his Wade's
you
career. When Wade's career was going on, every now and then, what did we forgive? Not getting back on defense, arguing with the referee. You want to know why? Because when it mattered most, he was going to come by with that weak side block and stuff your ass. That's how it was going to go. Oh, sorry. You forgive all the inconsistencies.
That's so different. But if he was taking the shot at the end of the game and never making it, right? Or always had the pivotal turn, or was stepping out of bounds like Jay Rich.
Oh boy, poor Jay Rich. God, do you remember that game when he was down here and he was throwing the ball out of bounds and just turning the ball over left and right? We're just like, whew. Don't miss that.
Somebody corrected you. The Titans are in Nashville, not Memphis. Huh.
So,
Yeah, but they're
You wanna know what
breaking it down to
sucked?
Memphis too.
You want to know what sucked? When they first moved up there, we had to play our games in Vanderbilt.
oh, really?
Oh, man.
Speaking of Jay Cutler.
That was like literally playing your games in at FAU. Was.
All right.
You ain't getting 100,000 in Vanderbilt. They had to steal benches.
Oh, man. What do you got, Robbie? What do we got for headlines?
Leroy, I have a question for you now. This isn't Vanderbilt. This is a big stadium. But remember when the Carolina Panthers, when they first expanded, they had to play at Clemson Stadium. Did you ever play there?
No, because when I was in Carolina, we were like, Carolina's crazy. The stadium is right downtown, and you practice at the stadium. So when you practice, there's like buildings all around you. It was an odd thing because when you think of football, you think of everything being out in like the suburbs.
The Bears, for a couple years, they played at Illinois when they were renovating.
Yeah, I
Soldier
did that
Field.
when they were redoing Soldier Field. And how about this? Before I went to the NFL, Illinois built a new turf, and somebody burnt the turf, so we had to play at Soldier Field.
While they were renovating it?
Yep.